Welcome to Firearms of America. Today, as you guys can see, I have another pair of Columbia boots for a review. Always excited about Columbias, haven't had a bad pair from them yet. Let's see what we got. This is Columbia Fairbanks again, and these are the Rover. Now, I have reviewed a regular Columbia Fairbanks not too long ago, and I was really impressed with those boots. Very comfortable, fairly lightweight, insulated if you're looking for a winter snow boot. Great option if you're looking for something that is not for extreme colds, but something to keep you nice and warm in the winter, regular winter temperatures, not anything extreme, of course, because it's only 200 grams of insulation. And this is their, I think, in my opinion, upgraded version because the material is tougher. It does feel much better than the regular Fairbanks, and also in this color variation you can see it's much more tactical looking. Alright, so to give you a brief overview, very comfortable, fairly lightweight, especially for the insulated boot. Definitely one of the most comfortable boots that I have tried. A little bit of the narrower fit, which personally I do like a lot. I know some people prefer a wider fit. This is a narrower fit, keep that in mind. Excellent outsole, only $90 currently on Amazon. The link is in the description below. Alright, if you guys are ready for the review, let's get into it. Some of you already know this review specifically for my Ultimate Survival Boots section. Yes, if this was your survival boot, something bad happened and you were wearing this boot, or you had it in the house and you put it on and you had to leave your house and walk for miles and miles, fight on the way, run somewhere along the way without taking these boots off for days and days, would this be a good boot for all of this? Will it help you to survive? Alright, how do we make the judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's start with criteria number 1, the comfort level. And like I said, they are extremely comfortable. One of the most comfortable boots that I have reviewed on this channel. I definitely do like these boots for their comfort a lot. And there are a few factors that contribute to the comfort level. First of all, let's get this one out of the way. The weight, of course. And this is size 10. And as you can see, 17.8. And it is very impressive, especially for the boot that is insulated. Very impressive. Now, in order to test the comfort level of all the boots on this channel, I do a 3-mile run without stopping and then a 5-mile walk. Again, there are no pauses in between, no stopping. And then I continue wearing for the boot until it's about 7 to 8 hours of total wear time. Weight, of course, being the lightweight, of course, it's much easier to run in this boot than in a lot of other boots. And usually I tell people, if you want a boot that does not restrict your mobility, that you can run in without, getting all that fatigue or stress from the heavy boot, and the same goes for walking, you want something under 20 ounce. And of course, this is well under 20 ounce, pretty good. And there are a few other factors that contribute to the comfort level. Number 2 is, look how flexible the outsole is. That's amazing. I mean, for all of the protection that it gives you and for how thick it is, and how good of the outsole it is in general, we'll talk about it later, but the flexibility is very impressive, and that allows you to actually run properly, without putting the stress on your ankles and on your knees. Very impressive. Alright, let's talk about the inner sole. The inner sole, really nothing special to it. It's very basic Columbia inner sole. It does have very sufficient amount of cushiness, right, to it, and I do like the fact that it has shape going to it. It gives you a heel bed. Very good. There is nothing after you remove the inner sole. There is nothing happening. It goes straight into the hard outsole. Keep that in mind, but I think it is definitely enough in the inner sole to give you that cushiness that you need. Another thing that I wanted to mention is, because these boots are insulated, you do have a lot of really nice cushy material going all the way inside through the boot. So whenever you are, especially whenever you're running, your toes, they don't smash into this harder material from the inside because it has this nice soft insulation. And I think, you know, obviously besides helping protect you from cold weather, it also adds up to the comfort a lot because you have that nice soft feel. So on the comfort level, I think fantastic boot. Great job, Columbia. Did not let us down here. But let's move on to the criteria number 2 now, the proofing and protection. Now, proofing wise, like I said, these boots are insulated, right? So you do have that. Of course, because they're winter boots, because they are snow boots, they are waterproof. And you already noticed the gusseting that is going. And this is one thing that I think Columbia could have done a better job, because just take a look at this. Here, the gusseting on the tongue is a little bit less than 5 inches, right? However, the shaft, the tallest part of the shaft, we have almost 6 inches. So what I mean here is, where I'm going with this is that Columbia could have given us a whole 1 more inch of waterproofing, and they didn't. If they implemented the gusseting just a little bit higher, just matching the height of the shaft, if you know what I mean. And they didn't. I don't know why. I think they could have. I mean, extra inch of waterproofing. I think it's a big deal, especially in the snow. You know, the whole inch that the snow is not going to be able to get inside of your boot. I think that's important. But overall, still good for only $90. Waterproof and insulated, pretty good. Let's talk about the protection now. These boots, they're much more, like I said in the beginning, much more durable, and obviously being that they give you definitely an upgraded protection from the regular Fairbanks that I have reviewed before. This material, even though it is still soft, definitely much more durable. Now the other Fairbanks, the regular ones, they were on the softer side and more on the mobility side. You wouldn't expect any kind of protection from that. Here you can more or less rely on that protection. You do have this material going which reinforces the toe. I wish this was going a little bit higher to give you more of that toe reinforcement and protection, but again, it's the balance of weight and protection that we're talking about. Now, here in the shaft, again, there isn't really much, but still, you do have this material, and of course, the insulation adds up a little bit of the padding, pretty good. And of course, your heel is reinforced as well. Let's move on to the criteria number 3, the quality and the design features. Now, quality-wise, Columbia, I personally have several Columbia boots that I have taken on some very serious hikes. I mean, we're talking about Appalachian Trail, in the middle of the Smoky Mountains, and they do perform. I mean, they are just fantastic, considering their prices. Fantastic boots. So quality-wise, I 100% trust Columbia. Now, whenever it comes to the design features here, usually I talk about the lacing system, and there is really nothing special here in this lacing system. It's literally just 5 pairs of closed hooks. Now, these are the heavy duty plastic, I think. Although, you know what? No, they might be metal. I think they're metal. It's hard to tell. I think. Nah, this is actually a heavy-duty plastic, like on the regular Fairbanks. Now, it doesn't really matter. I never had a problem with the hook because of its plastic breaking or anything like that. The strings are very nice here. They do slide fairly easily, so pretty good. Overall, nothing special to talk about in the design features. Let's move on to the criteria number 4 here, the outsole traction stability. Now, this one is very important. Whenever I do my running and walking test, I go through a variety of different surfaces, starting from older asphalt, newer tarmac, going to the sand, dry sand, wet sand, dry grass, wet grass, trail surfaces, and I finish up on some shiny surfaces like marble and tile. Now, this outsole is fantastic on literally everything because it has a very good balance of flatness and aggression. Although I have to mention here, it is a little bit more on the flatter side. I think Columbia could have done a little bit more aggression. to these grooves if they made them a little bit sharper than they are, right? Same design pattern, and same height of all of these grooves, but just a little bit sharper. But nevertheless, I think it is very good. Probably one of the better, more balanced designs of all the boots that I have reviewed on this channel. Now, whenever it comes to ice, that's one thing that I wanted to mention, because this is a snow boot. There aren't really a lot of boots out there that are stable on the ice right out of the box, unless they have metal spikes already implemented. But for most of the boots, you do need some metal spikes as an addition whenever it comes to the ice. So we're not really going to cover that. But everything else, including the snow and the sand and really whatever you throw at these boots, they perform very well, even on the shiny surfaces, considering that they are not designed to be oil or slip resistant, but they still do perform very well on those. And of course, the fact that the outsole is, with all of this, considering how good it is whenever it comes to the traction and stability, and that it is very flexible, I think Columbia did a fantastic job whenever it comes to the outsole. Let's talk about the temperature now. Criterion number 5. Now, these are insulated, like I said, 200 grams of insulation, and I have tested them myself in the colder temperatures in the winter in the Tennessee, Smoky Mountains, as a matter of fact, where I was talking about the Appalachian Trail. Now, the temperature was about 15 degrees, not extreme cold, definitely kept me warm. But again, it really comes down, there are a lot of factors, right? There are a lot of factors that we have to consider whenever it comes to the colder temperatures. Is obviously even things like the socks that you're wearing. Are you wearing an insulated socks or not? It really comes down to the situation. But normal winter temperatures, this is really, for the most part, all you need whenever it comes to the insulation. And like I said, you can definitely upgrade how cold you can go with some insulated socks as well. But in the warmer temperatures, which I tested these as well, I think, considering that they're insulated, they are not too bad. Honestly, testing here in Florida, about 95 degrees, doing the run here in Florida as well, they've handled very fine and not too hot, didn't overheat that much. I think this insulation, the OMNI-HEAT insulation that Columbia implements in their boots, is very good at keeping it breathable at the same time as giving you a protection from the colder temperatures. Let's talk about the criteria number 6, the sizing. These are definitely true to the size. Whenever it comes to the boots, I always recommend getting half a size bigger. So if your normal shoe size, sneaker size is 9, get yourself boots 9.5, so you have a little bit of that extra space in the toe box. Helps protect from unnecessary fatigue. And these definitely do give you that extra space. They definitely are true to the size. Let's move on to the criteria number 7, the balance of application. Now, if this really was your last boot, the ultimate survival boot, and something bad happened, you were wearing it, would this be good to survive in? Honestly, I think it is a fantastic boot to have as your ultimate survival boot. I mean, it's comfortable, it's lightweight, it has excellent outsole. The price is only $90. I think it's a fantastic price. It also gives you the protection from the temperatures, and even if you do have these boots and you wear them in the summer, right? And you're not gonna overheat because there's enough of the breathability and not too much insulation where your feet just keep overheating. I think it's a fantastic option. And in this particular color, of course, looking at a very serious tactical boot, because if you remember, if you watched the previous review that I've done of Columbia Fairbanks, it was a really weird orange outsole blue boot. It was really weird looking boot, right? This is a very serious tactical looking color variation of this boot. All right, the very last criterion is criterion number 8. The price, I already mentioned it, is $90. I think it is fantastic price. In fact, I think this is one of the reasons why Columbia just blows most of the competition out of the water, because they somehow managed to keep their prices so low. I think $90 for everything you're getting in this boot is just extremely good price. There isn't really a lot of other boots in that price range that I can say, you know what, I would consider. Whenever we go into the hundreds, 130, 140, yes, there are some really amazing boots out there in the higher, but in this price range, and in fact, I've seen these boots go even cheaper. I've seen them go as low as $70 now. That's just, if you find that for that price, just don't even think about it, because that is a fantastic price for that boot. But even $90 is just great. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think about these boots. Would you consider them as your snow winter hiking boots? Would you consider them as your ultimate survival boot? Drop your comments in the comment section below. If you have any requests, you can also drop them there as well. I always look out for those, and if I come across them first, I always get them as a priority to make a review here. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This was the Columbia Fairbanks yet again, but this time a Rover version, and you've been watching Firearms of America. I'll see you guys in the next video.